There are literally thousands of superheroes out there. Some are very popular, some not so much. These are the top 10 most unusual superheroes.
Welcome to another episode of the Twisted 10.
Oh, yeah.
We have almost a full house tonight. Almost a full house. We gave our boy a night off for his birthday.
He earned it.
So, Ron, this is supposed to be your Twisted 10 night too, man. What the hell?
I'm subbing in.
Are you going to sub it? Your high five for Ron?
We did a high five.
I have heard you're a good sub.
You are hearing the voices of Tach and Josh over here in the studio with us. So it is three of us this evening. So thank you for tuning in and listening. Boys, we're coming up on Christmas. So this episode will get released after Christmas. So for the listeners, you're getting this just after Christmas. But for us, it's almost here. Are you guys ready? Are you ready? You got your presents going if you're going to do presents for the family or your plans made or what?
All of it's done.
Yeah, I'm logistically ready. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm good to go.
Cool. We did so. Josh came over. He brought his kids over for this, but we did the Santa visit here. So my little girl, she's 2, and she is just as excited as possible. We did learn something, Josh, that for Abby, timeout doesn't work for her. So timeout, she loves it, and I think it's because it's attention that she's getting, and the focus is on her. We read a little bit about how timeout's supposed to work, especially for that young, for 2-year-olds, and you're supposed to, explain to them exactly what they did wrong. Tell them exactly how long they're going to be there, and they recommend 1 minute for each year they're old. And, don't keep going back and checking on them during the timeout. They have to sit there in isolation and do their time. Mm-hmm. Every time that she begins to do something wrong and I threaten timeout, she's like, okay, let's go to timeout. I want to go to timeout. She loves it. She'll sit there and be as patient and as quiet as she can for her 2 minutes. But she absolutely loves it. I almost think for her, it's like a mental reset. And she likes it because when she comes out, it's always hugs and kisses. So she comes up and she said, even if she doesn't know what she's done wrong, she'll come up to mom first and I'm sorry, mommy, and give her a hug. And it's always positive. So maybe it's a mental reset with some positive reinforcement at the end of the timeout. But fuck, timeouts don't work. I'll tell you what does work is the naughty and nice list with Santa. So we told her you don't want to be on Santa's naughty list, do you? And she understands that. And she corrects her action better so than doing a timeout. So I want Santa every month from now on. I want to use that all year long because it works in the Poston household. That's
I just see her coming up to you one day just like, Daddy, I just need a timeout.
Andrea's even told me, she's like, can you put me in timeout? Can I take
couple hours.
her age in minutes as a timeout? I'm just going to go sit up by myself and quiet and you take care of the kids for me. I'm like, damn it. This is not what I was hoping for. But.
We do it a little differently at the house. We just
you go cut a switch.
Throw her in the bathroom, turn the lights off, close the door, and just bang on it.
Oh, terrifying.
God, that's awful.
Throw lit matches at her.
No, it's all of that is the same. The only thing we do is we make her apologize to the person or thing that she's in trouble for. Yeah, and we don't. I don't want to say this as if I'm in disagreement, of course. We don't lay on positivity after she gets out of timeout. And I don't know if that is why, but when she goes in timeout and she sits in the couch, she's not happy about it. She sits, but she is not stoked. But when it's done, she goes, and it's usually her brother at this point, but she'll go up to him and she say sorry, and we make her kiss him like where she hurt him and explain what she did. She tells us what she did wrong. And it's been great. She's only knocked her brother over 4 or 5 times. Seriously. And when I said full on, just no, and like not just playing, throwing him down because she's mad. But yeah.
This is dad hour. We had Abby and Annie. It's my girls. We're sitting on the couch today with Andrea. And I had one too, but all of us were eating apples, these beautiful green apples. And both girls, Annie was really kind of sucking on an apple that Andrea had already opened up for her, but she had it there. Abby was eating her apple. I was eating my apple. And next thing I knew, I looked over and Abby's like, okay, I'm done with the apple. And she throws it and smacks Annie right in the face with the apple.
Nice. Good throw.
It was accidental as far as targeting, but it was bad to throw the apple. But you could see the remorse immediately. First things first, Annie, she's a tough girl. She's big for her age, which is only 7 months, but she almost weighs as much as Abby anyway. She's not fast. She's just a big kid. And she got hit, and I saw, like, I'm looking at her from the back. Like, I see the back of my daughter's head, and my other daughter threw the apple and hit her in the face on the side I couldn't see. So all I see is the back of her head kind of go back a little bit, and then she slowly turns and looks at her mother, and then turns back to Abigail and just starts going nuts, like, "Wah!" But it took her a minute. She had to register that wasn't supposed to happen. And poor Abby's face just sunk. She's like, oh, I'm sorry, Annie. I'm sorry, Annie. And it went right up to her. So we didn't time out her for that, but it was, oh man, it was funny to see happen. It's like it's like taking a punch to the face. I mean, an apple's heavy. It's like taking a punch to the face when it's being thrown at you. So it shocked her. It was quite funny to watch.
Well, at least now you know you can punch her.
She can take a punch.
I'm sorry. I don't beat children. I promise. I don't. I just had a long few days with my children. That's all.
Yeah. Man, oh man. All right, so let's get into this. So Tach, you're hosting tonight, right?
I'm hosting, buddy.
All right, my friend. I guess take it away, man. This is your week. It's your list. Is it related to Santa Claus at all? Or timeouts at all?
No.
Okay. Damn, no tangenting ability.
I mean, kind of, but no, it's not.
All right.
All right. So, you know how I always like to write my little things beforehand. So here we go.
You write your lists? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right. Should have brought my glasses.
Old man. By the way, how old did Ron turn today? Can we say his age? I don't think he minds.
If what did he turn? I don't know it, or I would.
Let me guess. 53.
No. So Ron's exactly 10 days younger than me.
Oh.
So.
How old are you?
Well, I'm not going to tell you how old Ron is, but I just turned 45. So.
Oh, there you go.
Cool.
All right. So superheroes are everywhere these days.
Oh, boy.
Well, narratively speaking, not literally. With Marvel's amazing MCU sagas and DC giving it the old college try with their films and CW-type television shows. You can't escape comic book superheroes. Superheroes have been around since the first inception back in the 1930s and became popular in the 1940s. The golden age of comic books created beloved characters such as Superman, Batman, Captain Marvel, Wonder Woman, and Captain America. These are all household names and loved by millions, right?
Maybe even billions.
Maybe even billions. These were once just an idea in someone's head. Nonetheless, these characters worked, but not all of them did. There are literally thousands of superheroes out there. Some are very popular, and some not so much. I'm here to talk about the underdogs, but not Underdog himself, because Underdog is actually awesome. But, so these are the top 10 most unusual superheroes.
Nice.
With a twist.
Are they, well, are you going to say your twist or not yet?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good. So the twist is one of these I made up.
Okay. All right. That's fine. That might be kind of hard too, as many superheroes that are out there. Now, are these based on American comic books or international comic books or comic books at all? I mean, what's the...
Yeah, these are all from comic books.
Okay, from comic books themselves.
Well, except the one I made up.
Oh, sure. Yeah. So. And mostly all American or international?
I think they're all American. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
Most of these are like Marvel and DC. Some are from like some other random companies. I'm not a comic book guy, so I don't know.
Image, maybe.
I can count the amount of comic books I have ever purchased on one finger. So
I probably still have 600 or 700 comic books in storage out there in the garage, all wrapped in protective cellophane sleeves with cardboard backing, the correct cardboard that's treated. Yeah.
You got some Spider-Man in there?
I actually I had a bunch of old Spider-Man. I had Wolverine.
Amazing Spider-Man, or what'd you have?
I don't know. I have to go back and look and see. But I sold some of the really old ones that I had for quite a bit of money, actually. These now are all from like the early 90s. Mm-hmm. So that era is when I got huge into comic books. I mean, big.
Well, in the 90s,
books.
you had the Spider-Man. Some series that came out in the 90s that was very popular.
I have the entire start to finish and spanned across the different comic book productions, the entire Death of Superman. So from the actual combat that he has through the funeral pry, through all of it, I've got every one of those, and some of them duplicates, and some of the rarest books in that whole Death of Superman series. So I'm a big comic book fan, but really from that era.
So no points tonight. I'm going to say I'm going to vote no points. I don't want to compete with Adam.
All right, you ready?
Yeah,
right,
dude, let's do it.
Number 10. And by the way, just wait for your guesses at the end of all this. You know?
Oh, for the twist, for the one that might be fake?
We'll go over it at the end.
God, I hope he has Metamorpho in this.
I only know one really obscure superhero.
These are all like just as weird as any one of you could think of. If you can make up a superhero, it'd be just as fucking weird as
Kangaroo Man.
Check out Tach, the sign boy.
All right, number 10.
Mr. Marsupial.
This is... I got my little spiel, and then we can discuss. So this one is called Arm Fall Off Boy. Made by DC.
Arm Fall Off Boy?
So Arm Fall Off Boy was published by Detective Comics and made his first appearance in Secret Origins Volume 2, number 46 in December 1989. Arm Fall Out Boy, a.k.a. Floyd Belkin, apparently gained his abilities through carelessness while holding the anti-gravity metal element 152, as one does. In his abilities, you ask, he can remove his own limbs and use them as clubs. Which I guess you can just remove one arm and use it as a club.
You take both arms off. What are you going to swing it with?
Right.
Does he grow them back? Or
I think he just puts it back on. He later went by Splitter, which rolls off the tongue a little bit better than Arm Fall Out Boy. Plus, it doesn't give anything away when introducing yourself at superhero parties. So,
that's way better, Splitter.
I like Splitter better than
mystery.
Arm Fall Off Boy.
So that's Arm Fall Out Boy.
Okay, so a couple of questions.
Yep.
Does he have use of the appendage when it is not attached to his body, or is it just like a stick? Is it immobile?
As far as I know from the research I did, besides no going into your phones throughout this whole episode.
Copy that.
I think he just takes them off and uses them as clubs, or takes one off.
Why doesn't he just carry a club around with him? That'd be way cooler. He can have both arms.
I don't know. I am going to say, if I had the ability to remove my arms to beat somebody versus bringing a club with me, I feel like it's just going to make a bigger statement. Just be like, don't make me take my fucking arm off.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
I mean, that would scare the shit out of me as a kid if my father was able to literally pull his arm off in the car and beat me with it for across. I got it. Does he have any?
You have longer reach?
Does he have any control over it? Like, as if he throws it, can he recall it back?
I don't know.
Where's the super part of this? Because I'm kind of.
It's pretty super that you can do that, but
yeah, but it's also kind of weak when he can be usurped by a guy that has two bats. He has two baseball bats. He wins.
I didn't say these powers were amazing.
I got it.
These are the obscure superheroes. So
this guy got the crap in the superhero lottery pool. He's like, God, what am I supposed to do with this?
Right.
So that's really
Arm Fall Off Boy.
Arm Fall Off Boy.
Already, I think it's number 1. It's the twist. Or number 10, I mean.
All right, number 9.
All right, number 9.
Big Bertha. And it's pretty much what you think.
Oh, boy.
Created by Marvel. Big Bertha was published by Marvel Comics, created by John Byrne, and made her first appearance in West Coast Avengers Volume 2, number 46 in July 1989. I also noticed something really funny here. So, Arm Fall Out Boy also first appeared in Secret Origins Volume 2, number 46, and Big Bertha first appeared in West Coast Avengers Volume 2, number 46.
Coincidence? I think not. Maybe Tach copied and pasted wrong there.
Anyway, Big Bertha, a.k.a. Ashley Crawford, who later legally changed it to Bertha Crawford.
I was going to say, where's the double B's or the double A's? In Marvel Universe, the names are often, the first name and the last name have the same strong consonant to begin the name with. But, okay, sorry.
Gotcha. She lived in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Bertha Crawford lived in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where she teamed up with the Great Lakes Avengers. She was a fashion model by day and Big Bertha by night.
So I'm picturing in my head a bigger woman. I guess that's not the case in this situation? Or
no, she was like...
Plus size model?
No, she was like 6 foot fucking beautiful. Her abilities were she was a skilled aircraft pilot, superhuman strength and durability.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, and the ability to alter her size and mass of her body and leap great distances. So a fashion model by day, but can be a large mass of a woman at night. There's jokes in there, but I'm not sure what.
Hey-o.
Daddy, I want to go on that ride.
That's a huge page.
She was registered with the United States government as required by the Superhuman Registration Act, as revealed when Deadpool mistakenly attempted to apprehend them for violating the act, only to be defeated and informed that they had already registered. Nice one, Deadpool.
Wait, so Deadpool lost to Big Bertha?
No, he was going to arrest them for not registering.
Them. Who's them?
Them with the
Big Bertha team?
Yeah, the team was the
Great Lakes Avengers.
Yeah, Great Lakes Avengers.
Okay.
But then she's like, we already registered. And he's like, oh, sorry. Oh. So if you look at it, well, don't look at it online, but she's like this tall, thin, gorgeous model, but then she changes into this big, huge, fat woman.
Oh, really?
Big Bertha. Yeah. So that's Big Bertha.
Does she have, so a couple comic book style questions, does she maintain her super strength at all times, or does she have to metamorphose into this Big Bertha character?
I think she has
have
to
her strength?
change. I think.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. That would be the clutch that I would see for her character. Mm-hmm. When she's in her Clark Kent, so to speak, when she's in her costume or her normal appearance to the rest of the world, she wouldn't have that super strength. But if she changed into the Big Bertha, then that is when she can deal out some damage.
Does Big Bertha have an origin story? Like how she suddenly became...
If I didn't say it, I don't know it. I mean, that's not true. That's not true. If I say something, there are some things I do remember from reading, but...
Certainly.
So, I don't know it.
Is she really good at golf?
I don't know.
I had to. Big Bertha, the club... No, I've got no golfers in here. There's a listener out there somewhere.
Golf, but I don't know who that.
There's a listener out there somewhere that knows the Big Bertha joke in the golfing community, and you laughed. I know you did. I heard it. I think. Just me. Got it.
Okay. Number 8. Normal Man. Normal Man was published by Aardvark Vanheim Renegade Press and was created by Jim Valentino and made his first appearance in Cerebus number 56 in November 1983. Normal Man has a familiar origin story. On the planet Arnold, a junior CPA had come to the conclusion that Arnold would explode in 8 hours. So the junior CPA built a rocket ship to launch his infant son into deep space. No sooner had he done so, however, he then discovered that Arnold was not going to explode after all, leading his enraged wife to murder him. Dun, dun, dun.
That is a timeout. Right
20 years later, the rocket-carrying, now grown baby ended up crashing into an Earth-like planet called Levrum, which, fun fact, is just Marvel, spelled backwards.
Oh, fun.
Populated entirely by super-powered people. Because he had no superpowers of any kind, the locals dubbed him as Normal Man. Also, would like to point out that his father's name was Joe L., and he was...
What a ripoff of the...
And he was Norm L. Other characters in the comic book include Captain Everything, which is a spoof on Superman, and Mighty Mouse combined, Sergeant Fluffy, Man or Mon, which is a Rastafarian character with power of ganja breath.
Yeah, man, I'm going to blow the smoke on you. Please do it. Please.
And of course, Flesh, Nasty Girl, and Useless Kid.
Nasty Girl?
So,
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
and my last thing I wrote was, please make this movie people.
All right, so many questions. If he landed on a planet called Leverum, reverse of Marvel,
Yeah.
which everybody had superpowers, and they realized he didn't have superpowers, they called him Normal Man.
Which doesn't make sense.
But they're normal.
They're normal.
He's unusual, so they should have just called him Handicap Man.
Right.
Or
Handyman.
not Normal Man, or lower essence of a Leverum Man.
No,
Normal
you're
is
right.
what they are.
I thought this exact same thing.
Huh. Damn it, Marvel. Get some better writers.
Kind of makes him like Pluto of the Disney universe. I did this last week too. I'm not going to do that.
That's
Oh man, I screwed up too because I meant to read all these names like Normal Man, and then Ron was going to edit it to where it was like, no, it sounded really
Ron
cool.
edited to make it sound cool. Just add an
Still
echo.
can.
But I forgot. I'm just reading like Normal Man. Okay, I'm supposed to go Normal Man.
There's not much you can put on, even with
Just gonna put a bunch of reverb on there. And fucking
No,
some
I get it.
echo and,
It's still Normal Man. I mean, there's not, even if you add reverb and echo to it,
but
it
it's
doesn't
gonna
sound
be-
any cooler.
It's a comic book episode.
I get it. I'm joking.
So,
Huh. Well, I tell you what, we can do that for your bumper. At the bumper, you can say.
Well, I had a whole bumper plan like that too.
There you go.
One last question. That comic series sounds like a satire series. Every bit of that
For sure.
sounds
Yeah.
like is just all tongue in cheek.
For sure.
It sounded like somebody at Marvel lost a bet and they had to write this as the losing bet. If I win this next hole in golf, see, I'm going to throw golf in there a couple times tonight. If I win this next hole, you have to write a spoof series about Normal Man.
Yeah.
All right, fine. Hole in one.
Norm Hall, which was a Family Guy reference.
So let me ask one other question. He was from a planet called Arnold?
Yeah,
What? Arnold?
Arnold. Which his dad thought it was going to blow up in 8 hours, but then turns out it did not.
Well, no, I got that. I got that part. I can jump that distance and capture the imagination of the Superman style, escape from the planet because
right.
it was going to blow up. I got that part, but Arnold? Why didn't they just name the planet Jeff or Charles or
Jeff
I don't know?
is cool. I like Jeff.
All right.
Planet Jeff?
One day, when we are super successful, like Marvel Comics successful, I just want to make just an offshoot show, just called like the Shitty Five. And just
That should have been the after show. The Shitty Five.
That just sounds very low effort. I mean, I guess not artistically low effort, just the writing sounds so low effort.
All right, number 7.
Number seven.
All right, number 7.
Number 7.
Super hip. We did that time.
Super hip?
Super hip.
Super hip.
Like my dad has a replacement hip, like super hip that or
Well, that's how. Well, let me just continue. on.
all right.
Super Hip was published by Detective Comics and created by Arnold Drake and artist Bob Oxner.
Bob Ross?
No. It first appeared in Adventures of Bob Hope, number 95, in October 1965. Did you know Bob Hope had a comic? Because I sure did not.
Oh, boy.
For the listeners who don't know who Bob Hope is,
Oh, my God.
Hey, listeners, don't worry. We're just as lost as you are right now. All right, don't fret.
Well, we know who Bob Hope is.
We know what Bob Hope is. Yes.
yeah, definitely, of course, yeah, for sure.
All right. Super Hip, a.k.a. Tadwallader Jutefruce, is
Come again?
Tadwallader Jutefruce. It's like a spoonerism on fruit juice, I guess.
Okay.
A spoonerism?
That's where you reverse the letters and the words together. So you would be Wash Gilson.
Yeah.
Bless you.
So Tadwallader Jutefruce is the crew cut and bow tie wearing nephew of Bob Hope and a student at Benedict Arnold High School, where all the faculty and teachers are made up of classic horror monsters, such as
All right, this sounds pretty cool so far.
such as
Did you just stroke out? What happened, Tach? Such as
when you get old, you like choke on your own spit. Such as Principal Dr. Vampire.
I see what you did there.
I didn't do it.
Well.
Professor Heinrich von Wolfman and Coach Franklin Stein.
That's a good one.
So-
That's a good one.
Whenever Tad loses his temper, the mild-mannered boy genius turns green, starts to spin like a tornado, and becomes super hip. Super hip becomes a long-haired Austin Powers type character,
Oh,
but
all
with
right.
but with winged ankles that give him the ability to fly. He also magically conjures an electric guitar, so whenever he plays some rock and roll, it makes whoever hears it to dance uncontrollably. Did I mention he has a highly educated talking dog named Harvard? Because that's a thing. And that's super hip. Yeah, super hip.
Yeah, baby. So he turns into an Austin. So his superpower turns him into an Austin Powers that has flying ankle wings.
Yeah, and an electric guitar that when he plays it, everybody dances and can't stop.
Oh man, was his daytime persona Freddie Mercury? Is that how that? Nah,
He was just a high
didn't
school
play.
boy.
He didn't play. That was bad.
So many questions here. Number one, this sounds like a really cool school to attend. That's
Yeah.
the first part about this whole. In this universe, that high school sounds awesome. That sounds really cool. A bunch of horror stars from
It's so random.
American genre.
It doesn't seem like it belongs in there. It's like somebody had the idea and they're like, "We'll just put it in the comic." Like
That's the random piece to you, not the ankle wings. The ankle wings were the one what threw me off. I'm thinking Kid Icarus looking boots almost.
it's weird. Yeah,
I just, I feel like based on this list, if I want to be wildly successful, I just need to do a ton of psychedelics and take a notebook with me and just write shit down.
not successful.
I mean, these
that's
came
true.
from six. Oh, okay. All right, fair.
Look, these are the duds of
That's
the
true.
comic book
These are the
universe.
Of course,
Does-
I'm sure there's some people that like fucking know some of these. They're like, "Oh shit, like yeah, I've read that comic." Fucking
we
a lot
do
of
have,
people
we
like
have a
it.
lot of comic book listeners too, so that would be interesting.
To
So
us, they're
listeners-
like, "Who the fuck is this?" People are like, "You don't fucking know about Normal Man? Like, are you serious?" You know, I don't know.
How do you not know?
Anyway,
listeners, if you've heard of any of these, drop us a line on Facebook or
Yeah.
something. Let us know. That'd be amazing to hear if somebody, even better, if somebody owns one of these.
oh, that'd be awesome.
Send it
Take a
over to us.
picture,
We'll put it
yeah.
up. We'll put it up in studio in here. I'm sure it's not worth very much, so don't worry about losing them. We'll pay for the comic book, but fuck yeah, send it over here. We'll stick one of these up in the studio.
All right, number 6.
Number 6.
Almighty Dollar. Almighty Dollar was published by Marvel and created by Buzz Dixon, Mike DiCarlo, and Jose Delbo, and only appeared in one issue, NFL Super Pro number 10.
Wait, it was in an NFL comic book?
Yeah.
All right, don't go there. I'm afraid of where this is going, but all right, let's hear about it.
Okay. Almighty Dollar, a.k.a. Pennington Pennypacker, a.k.a. J. Pennington Pennypacker, was insanely rich and did what any rich person does, and that's throw money at all your problems and they go away. Only Almighty Dollar, or Almighty D, literally throws money, pennies to be exact. He has a blast power where he shoots pennies from his wrists.
I mean, a penny could do some damage. That's
For sure.
The weight of a penny is equivalent to some bullets, some calibers of bullets. So maybe, I mean, given a high enough trajectory of that penny, that could do some damage. I can see that.
Yeah.
All right. I wonder where they come from, though. Is he just got stocks of
I
pennies
don't
up in
know.
his
I
up in his
don't
arm, or interesting.
Yep. And that brings us to our break.
Oh, that's it on him. That's it on this one.
That's it on Almighty
I was
Dollar. guys.
really nervous. The Almighty Dollar was going to, especially given the era that some of these are from, was going to go down a very bad, stereotypical, insensitive joke.
I don't
on
know.
certain ethnic.
I don't know what the story is in that episode.
Certain
of the comic book.
heritages. Yeah.
So, yeah.
I didn't know the NFL had comic books. I'm still on that part of this story.
I didn't know
Yeah.
Bob Hope had a comic book.
But yeah,
so.
that's wild. So, man, I wonder if the NFL comics are worth any money. 'Cause people still know what the NFL
Well, I mean,
is.
you got Almighty Dollar. I mean, come on now. Can't go wrong there.
If that's any telling at all. So far out of all of these, Josh, if you had to pick one to have the ability of, please don't say arm fall off boy, but if you had to pick one that you could have that ability, what would you want it to be? I think I would go with
Big Bertha.
Oh, you went with Big Bertha. It's super strength. Yeah, I guess
Super
that's a good...
strength, size. She could jump. Would you say long distances?
Yeah, I would figure,
and I can be a hottie in the middle of the day.
Right.
I figured you would probably, because you like hosting parties, I figure you would go for the dude with ankle wings that could summon his electric guitar and make people dance, because that's pretty fucking rad.
I actually have the powers of one of these guys.
The ganja guy, right? Where you blow weed smoke in somebody's face on demand? Oh, joking.
Normal man. I have normal man's powers.
Oh, yeah. Does that mean where everybody else around you is cool except you don't have the capabilities to...
It's pretty much it. Like
that was
you
a
guys,
stretch. That was a stretch.
No,
Sorry.
it's true. You guys have the power of earning money where I don't.
Damn, it's a little self-defeating. Ouch. I was joking, Tach. I wasn't trying to get on some serious notes. All right.
You guys are in successful relationships. I sit alone for years.
On that note, if anyone out there is single and interested in dating, if
We've
you're
already
handsome,
tried this. We don't fucking get anybody to
That's a good point. No girls listen to
I
this
don't know.
show.
Girls fucking.
Jimmy did send us that dick pic once.
That's true.
What's that?
That was... Okay. Other show, Living Vicariously. My segment, The News Flash. At the front of it, there was some Morse code. And the
yeah.
The Morse
That's
code
right,
was
yeah.
send nudes, and I got
That's
a
right.
gigantic dick from Jimmy.
That was Jimmy's actual dick. It's pretty
That was
crazy.
huge. It was like a big...
Jimmy runs the Jimmy's Big Dick Ranch. That's like a whole joke on.
Ironically, Jimmy's a white guy and the dick wasn't, but you know what?
Yeah.
It still was his somehow.
That makes sense where you said, like, I'm black from the waist down. Like he said that
does
one
say
time.
That's true. All right, before we go to break, Josh, where can we send our listeners to get some more content and to support the show if they want to support us?
Yeah. So at first, to that point, thank you to our patrons through Patreon. That is where you can find our after show for $2, $5, or $20 a month. There's a bunch of extra content. So if you're interested, go check that out. Patreon.com/twisted10. Or if you just want to come hang out, we have a Discord server. You can find that. The link to that is on the website, just twisted10.com. Discord being just a little chat room. Just come say hey. Come hang out. Thanks for hanging out with us there. It's a lot of fun.
Faux show. All right, we ready to take a break?
Yep.
I'm going to go take my arm off and beat myself with it. I'll be back in just a minute.
Sounds hot.
I'm going to use your arm to beat off too.
It's so good, the way you live so differently. I don't think you could spend a day away from me. And though I feel the same, I'd never let you know. I can't ignore the feeling, I should take it slow. Well, you open my eyes, change my perspective. I won't say I'm addicted, even though that's what I'm thinking. But oh, I know I should. I should be quick in deciding to empty out my wallet for the feeling you're supplying. Cause oh, it's so good. Burning desire takes me higher. I'm bound to be always beside her. I may be hurt and misunderstood. Why would I stress when I feel it is oh so good?
Welcome back to the Twisted 10. Oh shit, Josh! I left my arm upstairs when I was taking a piss. Hang on.
I got it.
I was using it earlier and I handed it off to Josh.
Did you two just jerk yourselves off with my hand?
No, I ran out of toilet paper.
I felt. Oh, god damn it! I felt
jerked
all
up
of it
before that.
I felt it all. I felt all of it. So that was still my question from that number 10. Is does he feel and can he still use that? You know. But I wasn't allowed to look it up, so I didn't.
Sometimes I relate, like I do, like arm fall asleep boy at night.
That's called the stranger. Yes.
Okay, yeah. I do that one.
Yeah, I do that one by accident, just based on how I lay. I'll wake up and I've got a dead arm. I can't control it. It's just it's there until the tingles come back and I get that functionality.
That's
back
your chance.
Again. Yeah, no, I can't control it. I don't. So I get how the stranger works. If anybody doesn't know, that's where you sit on your hand. Your hand goes asleep from lack of blood, and then that you use to take care of yourself, and it's supposed to feel like a stranger doing it. My problem is controlling that hand. I couldn't put on a sock,
Starts,
let
like,
alone
gripping your balls.
grab some junk down there. I can't pick up a shoe. I can't grab a drink. I can't do anything with it. How do you expect me to touch my most sensitive part in the world with a hand that I have no control over?
That sounds terrifying.
It does. It does.
For the record, I've never done it before. I never tried it, so I don't know.
Would you punch if you started to hurt yourself by accident, would you just start beating your hand to get it off?
Something.
Then it becomes
Beat something to get it
there's
off.
another theory about that. It becomes a ghost arm at that point. And somebody else is controlling it. It's like a ghost hand.
Yeah. Idle Hands. Remember that movie? Idle Hands?
Never saw it, buddy.
It's in the 90s.
Yeah, no, never saw it.
It's about this teenager whose hand, or maybe both hands, I forget. I think it's one hand, who gets possessed by the devil, and it kind of does its own thing. Like, tries to kill people and shit like that, which apparently is like a real thing.
A real psychological.
It's a neurological.
Yeah, real neurological disorder. Sure,
Yeah.
I can go with that. Is that they lose the ability to have
Your hand doesn't actually get possessed by the devil,
right.
but your people's hands have been known to like do their own thing.
Yeah, you can map the impulses that would normally go to the hand to perform certain functions, get mixed and crossed, and sends different signals to the hand insteed of waving your
Like
beating
it could
a
be
table
like
or something.
knocking my phone out of my hand, and I'd be like, "Fucking stop!"
Yeah.
Or stuff like that. You guys ready to continue?
Let's do it.
Let me go back through 10 through
Recap
6.
10 through 6.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, number 10 was Arm Fall Out Boy, our favorite. Number 9, Big Bertha.
It's a huge bitch.
Number 8, Normal Man. Normal Man. Sorry, Ron. I'm fucking these all up. Number 7, Super Hip. Number 6, Almighty Dollar. Which brings us to number 5.
Number 5.
Ice Cream. Spelled EYE dash Scream, like SCREAM.
Like eyeball scream?
Yeah. So Ice Cream was published by Marvel and created by Alan Kupperberg and made his only appearance in Obnoxio the Clown #1 in April 1983.
Obnoxio the Clown.
Yeah.
That's number 4.
Very little is known about Ice Cream's origins or alter ego. All we know is he was rejected from Professor Xavier's school and felt stupid because his ability was to be able to melt into any ice cream flavor possible. Seriously, so in this one issue he was in, he decides to sneak into a school where they're having a party. Ice Cream sneaks inside when Obnoxio the Clown enters to entertain the kids, hired by Professor X. But then he gets defeated by the kids and Obnoxio the Clown.
What?
So
He wasn't allowed to go to the school, so he snuck in
I guess
as Ice Cream.
How did he get defeated? Did they eat him?
I don't know.
Did he take too long? He's like, no, that's my fucking toe.
Does he... There's so many questions here.
I don't have a whole lot of information. Remember, also, I put this list together like months ago.
So his superpower was literally melting in. He would become the flavor of ice cream, but it wouldn't be ice cream. You would just melt, and he would be the flavor of what that ice cream used to be. So if it was like vanilla, he would be a pool of vanilla goo on the floor.
Well, he can be melt into any flavor he wants. So if
but melt would mean it's not form.
not ice cream, I guess.
It's like liquid.
It's milk. It's flavored milk.
Yeah,
on the
so he could
floor.
melt into a bunch of different substances.
So it's not so much ice cream as it
dairy
is
products.
Milkman. So he should be the Milkman.
Milkman would be better. Yeah, that would make more sense. I am flavored yogurt man. No, so what is, so I'm trying to understand. So let's look at it from a perspective of being a superhero or even a supervillain.
Yeah.
Let's turn him into a villain for a minute.
Sure.
Where would it be beneficial to be a flavor of ice cream? Like, are there certain bank vaults that say, put your mint chocolate chip on the sensor to enter this bank vault? No, that doesn't.
Well, I assume you can melt and go into the door.
But then it would, what is the relevance of ice cream at that point? You just turn into water and then go where water flows.
Well, he's milk. So it'd be flavored milk
fine.
under the door.
Flavored milk under the door. Okay.
So maybe if his powers keep him into as ice cream, frozen ice cream, then maybe that's like the best honeypot gift of all time.
It's delicious. Yeah.
Be like, hey, somebody send this box of ice cream up to the CEO of Evil Corporation.
Oh, gotcha.
And then he's in the office.
True that.
But if he got beat by children, I think an executive with any salt is going to take care of him. But
that's one of those superheroes that go, you know what? I just didn't have the best when
that's
it
why
came
he
to
was
drawing
rejected.
powers.
Professor X rejected him from the school. So
Yeah, but Professor X could have come up with a better use for this guy than just rejecting him for being a flavor of ice cream. He must have been a dick or something. I mean, that had to have been.
Professor X brought a bomb into the building. If this guy didn't cut the bar that a bomb beat, man, poor dude.
Thanks, Bomb. See what I did there?
Oh,
That was a reach. Ready, number 4?
Number 4. Let's do it.
Number 4 is Chemical Zero.
Ooh, cool name so far.
That's good.
All right, Chemical Zero was published by Hectic Bride Comics and created by Ronald Craig and Zachary Taylor in 1973. First appearance was in Galactic Heroes number 210. Chemical Zero is a bionic man, part machine, who can create any chemical or gas for any situation. Sorry. Right. Any situation.
I am
needed.
Methane Man.
For any situation needed. If
That's
you need
cool.
oxygen, boom, he has an attached gas mask. Need fuel for your jet, boom, he has jet fuel attachment. So that's really all I got on him. So.
Does he? So he has all of these gizmos that produce that gas, or he is that gas? He can
right.
make that
It's
gas.
like he can create it with part machine, part his body too, because it's an ability as well.
Okay, all right.
So like he would have like the gas mask like right here, like attached to him, and he'd be like, "Hey, here's some oxygen," or. I just see a mess up happening, you know.
Here's my nitrous mask.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, here you go. Oh wait, that's methane. Sorry.
Hey, does this smell like chloroform?
Chloroform, man.
That's cool though. So that one has some bravados to it. That at least could be a potential somebody that can create any chemical compound in a gaseous state.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty cool. So he could produce any number of gases on demand for anything. So if you're maybe he could fly, if he could create a hydrogen pocket around himself, he could fly and be lighter than air and go where he wants to go, or he could.
It's true. I don't know. I didn't. read a
That
whole
one
lot
at
about it,
least
so.
has, compared to some of these other goofballs, that one at least has some legs to be able to become a real superhero or supervillain, because that's cool. The ability to use your superhero ability to produce any of the gases that are out there.
Yeah.
You could think about it. Going out on a battlefield, you could just mustard gas everybody around you and you win. You know, there's nerve agents and all sorts of crazy stuff that he could, concoct, I guess.
Somebody write Hectic Comics. Reprint.
All right, number 3.
Number 3.
Number 3.
Skate Man. Skate Man was published by Pacific Comics and created by Neil Adams, and his first appearance was Skate Man number 1 in November 1983. Skate Man, aka Billy Moon, was a martial arts enthusiast and a Vietnam vet who also found a career in the roller derby.
Yes!
As one does.
I was afraid you were going here, but I'm happy now.
And thank you for your service, sir. After his best friend is murdered by a biker gang, he falls into a depression. He meets a young Hispanic boy named Paco. Seriously, not making that up. Paco's comic book collection inspires Billy Moon to wrap a scarf around his face and fight crime and seek justice to the biker gang while wearing roller skates. So there you go.
Oh, so
no
wait.
superpower?
So other than the awful things that he went through in his life to get there,
Yeah,
he was just a broken man with rollerblades.
that's it. Well, this is 1983, so
And a scarf.
roller
Oh,
skates.
Skates, that's right.
So yeah, that's it. He just had
With the front brake, because
he was
why?
built with he just had rage and wanted to
But he
get
had
some.
so no official superpowers. He was just a dude that was
That's it.
a roller skater.
Yep, skate man.
Skate man.
Well, hang on a minute. Well,
Okay.
I thought they were superheroes.
Oh, well, Batman, okay, he doesn't have any...
Some would contest that Batman isn't a superhero because he doesn't have superpowers. I wouldn't say that. However, it's been said.
Iron Man
his
also...
superpower is money.
Iron Man, you can contest.
Hawkeye.
Iron Man, you can contest his superpower is his IQ. So there's a way to potentially contest that Iron Man's ridiculous intelligence is his superpower, and he uses that
and
to
money,
do all these other things.
whatever. But you also got Hawkeye, you got Black Widow. Neither one of them have any kind of superpowers.
They're just really good at what they do.
I mean, your point is taken, but I'm not poo-pooing on your list, Tach. I have a hard time understanding that Chester the Molester on roller skates can be out there solving crime or
he's an American veteran and a war hero, so let's show
that
some
doesn't
respect.
change the fact that he's on roller skates. It's that one's rough. Why doesn't he get on a skateboard or a motorcycle or something? I mean, why
It's a biker gang he's after,
so better yet, what's he going to do? Roller skate down the highway after them? Where they're going 70 and he's doing maximum 30.
I didn't read it.
What happens when he runs over terrain that he can't roller skate through? Is he?
Oh no!
Is he Sneaker Man?
Funky run.
Once again, these are not popular superheroes. These aren't successful superheroes.
Fuck it. You know what his kryptonite is? A pile of sand. And he's done. No more roller skate man or whatever.
Exactly.
And to be fair, I guess all we heard is that he went after the biker gang to seek justice. We didn't hear that he made it out of the other side.
You know what happened when he got there? They wedgied him. They put him into a toilet and flushed his head. They what is it? Swirlied him. Drew on his face, penises all over his face, and they took his skates and shoved. No, all right, we can go from there. I'm sorry, Dak. That one you gave me the chemical dude, and then you like, oh, this list we're going up.
Yeah, Chemical Zero, the cyborg.
It's got some balls. And then we get the guy that everybody was afraid to talk to when I was 12 years old at the roller skating rink with a giant handlebar mustache that was really ironically good at roller skating. We get this guy.
I don't want to do any spoilers or anything, but wait till you hear what number one is.
Yeah, that's a teaser right there. Great. All right, Tach.
So we're at number two.
Number two.
His name is
This is Scarf Man. Sorry.
Close. It's Color Kid.
Tach, what are you doing, buddy?
I
Did
just
you just say Colored Kid?
no.
You can't say that. That's not
color, singular, and in present tense. Kid. I did not even catch that at all, like ever. That's how not racist I am, because I didn't catch that.
Ron, don't echo that one, okay? We don't want to glamorize. Oh, I'm crying.
All right. Well, let's fix this and let's hear about Color Kid.
No stereotypical stuff in this, please. Don't go there.
Let's find out.
All right.
Color Kid, just one color, in present tense, was published by DC. Way to go, DC. Created by Edmund Hamilton and Kurt Swan. First appearance in Adventure Comics number 342 in March 1966. This is the second time Edmund Hamilton has appeared on this list. A little fun fact. Color Kid, a.k.a. Yulu Vac, a.k.a. Color Queen, is from the planet Lupra and was assisting a scientist when a beam of multicolored light from another dimension struck him, granting him his single super ability to alter the color of any object.
Whoa.
He later came to the tryouts for the Legion of Superheroes position, but was rejected by mean old Superman, said nope. He later joins the Legion of Substitute Heroes, a group...
They meet at the church once a week, and they have sit in circles.
Is that after the AA meeting?
Yes.
It's a group formed of rejected Legion applicants. So there we go. That's Color Kid. Just color.
You totally redeemed yourself on that tag. It came off very bad. I thought we were going to scrap the episode, Josh.
Man, I shed one tear.
You guys are racist Randy's, man. I didn't even pick up on that at all.
Oh my goodness!
It sounded like you said something different than
It
that.
just,
I gotcha.
it just pinged my "Don't sue us" bells.
Yeah.
Like we're not bad people. Oh my goodness!
You know what? On the Brady podcast, I have to do a disclaimer after every episode. We always say we're not sexist, we're not racist, because we do sexist fucking jokes through the whole fucking thing. And maybe a racist thing might come out, but we're not like, hey, look at that black guy. We're not like that kind of racist. But so we always just to cover our own ass. We're like, we're not sexist, we're not racist. And every episode ends that way. Maybe we should do that here.
No, I think you just did.
No, yeah,
Okay,
you covered
good.
us.
So what crime did this substitute superhero? Did he ever or did he just show up, get rejected, and go to AA meetings instead of back to the planet of Lupron or Lupron?
Lupra.
Lupra.
Well, he was from here. He just got hit by a beam of light from Lupra. Right?
That's true. Yeah, you're right.
So he could just change the color of things.
Yep.
So
He hangs out with normal man.
So let's look at that at a scientific level. So what's happening when you see colors of an object is that item is absorbing all of the colors in the natural spectrum, in the visible spectrum, except the color that it's reflecting back to you. So what he's doing is he's changing the chemical compound of that object so it reflects the colors that he wants the people to see.
Yeah.
So like the plant over there, it is absorbing all the natural visible light except for the green hues and maybe some yellow hues that are in the leaves. So if I was color man, I would change the chemical makeup of that to absorb that green light, and it would reflect the pink light or reflect blue light or reflect whatever color I want you to think that thing is.
It's amazing science happening there, but
It is amazing science.
Where's the benefit?
I mean, I can't really think of one. Tach.
I bet he's really
say-
great for privacy. Look at that clear glass. Pff, no, it's black.
Ooh,
Nobody can
Josh,
see
you might be
us.
onto something. Invisibility.
Or you could say, hey, look out for that red car, but then you look and it's blue, so you don't look out, and then you get hit by the red car.
Invisibility would be his best power because he could change that object to absorb all of the light.
See,
and you wouldn't even
Superman
see
wasn't thinking about all that.
Fucking Superman.
He's like, oh, cool, you can change the color of my fucking...
Now, Superman might have heard D in that name too and thought, oh, no, this ain't right.
You need a new nickname. Come back.
He's like, cool, you change the color of my fucking the fire hydrant. Like, how am I going to use that?
Could he do it on demand? Like, could he do it on the fly? How quickly could he change
I
colors?
don't know.
Did he have to have physical contact with the colors, or did he just have to see it?
I don't know, man.
Because think about that. He could see Superman flying away from him after Superman denied him. It's like, oh yeah, motherfucker, you're going to be neon blinking as you go away. And his cape's changing colors the whole way. He's like, that fucking color, man. I tell you. You know, there's an angle
Please
there.
be careful when you're saying that. That fucking color.
All right, I'm done.
Let's move on to number one. This one's fun.
Number one, hit it out of the park.
All right. This one is Danny the Street.
Awesome.
All right. So,
what? Danny the Street?
I actually
Danny
am
the
familiar
Street.
with this one.
oh, nice. Just when you think you know about this guy, it gets better. All right. So, Danny the Street was published by DC and created by Grant Morrison and Richard Case, and his first appearance was in Doom Patrol number 35 in August 1990. Danny is a living, sentient piece of urban geography who can magically and seamlessly place himself in any urban landscape at will, without any disruption to his surroundings. He can freely interact with any other sapient being through various forms of visual printing within his proximity. Okay, so he's like a fucking street, right? So, but like if he wants to communicate, he like makes the billboard say, "Hey, Adam," or whatever. But there's more. So you're getting this so far?
He's a sentient street that can place himself wherever he wants.
Yep. It gets better. So Danny's flamboyant personality and propensity, did I say that right?
Propensity.
For cross-dressing is evidenced when he lines his streets with typically masculine stores, e.g. like gun shops, sporting goods stores, stuff like that.
Oh, he can make full stores as well?
Yeah. Decorating with frilly pink curtains and laths. Danny speaks by altering his form. For example, Danny communicates with signs in his windows, messages on typewriters, and with letters formed from manhole vapor or broken glass shards. Danny speaks English, heavily flavored with Polari, a large antiquated form of slang spoken among a certain British subcultures, including some of the LGBTQ community. Bona de Vada means good to see you, is Danny's favorite way of greeting friends. Danny's personality is based and least partially on British drag performer Danny LaRue, which LaRue is French for the street. Danny is kind, compassionate, quick to joke, and slow to anger. If pushed past his limits, however, Danny can even the score by manipulating his environment. And I wrote, interesting. I think I may like this one after all. I didn't know he had such personality, and I kind of like that.
So this is does he just always choose to go into the form of a street and buildings surrounding a street, or does he?
That's it. Like that's his form.
But
like
he can also form buildings,
form.
and he can form sidewalks, and theoretically any other type of structure. I'm imagining he can just make it appear. So let's say I'm a guy walking through the jungle, all right, in the middle of nowhere. Mm-hmm. This guy could suddenly, or this entity could suddenly show up, and poof, there's a street with a bunch of shops and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's Danny. Yeah, it's just Danny.
He ends up changing as well. I almost said something earlier and I didn't want to take it away in case it was on your list. He eventually, it changes and he gets used as a sort of a reconnaissance tool. He serves a role to the point where he becomes a planet and then he just drops out of the stories. He becomes Danny the sentient planet and then he's gone.
Damn. Was it Alderaan or something?
So I'm really confused. So he can become the shape of anything he wants, and apparently as massive as he would want to become?
Something happens to him that changes him into a planet. I don't know what that is. Like 10 years ago, which is why I don't even know who Danny the Street is, I fell into a shitty comic book character's black hole. Actually, when I was working overnights for that, where we met, where I was working when we met. And I had a lot of free time, so I just watched cartoons, read comics online.
Huh.
Nice.
Or read about comics online. Because that's when the Marvel Universe was really starting to get some traction as the long-term, what it was going to be.
So I guess I'm just a little bit confused on this one. This guy, not a guy. He's a sentient object, not even an object. He's a sentient
street. I don't know.
Amalgamation that can shape itself into structures, right? That's where we're going with this. Really, structures. Street is just used here because that's what he usually used. All right,
urban structures.
So
specifically,
was he once a human, and this happened to he became this, or he was just?
Oh, you've tapped all of my knowledge too.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Tapped all my.
This guy's weird. There's lots of cool things that he could do. I guess. I mean, look, to make an entire planet. That's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
A disguise of all sorts of get out. I mean, it's cool that this sentient amalgamation can do whatever the fuck he wants to become and just make it happen.
Yeah.
The added anthropomorphization of a flamboyant characteristic and
he's
charisma,
gay, but he's like,
how would he
not
be
even
gay,
human,
though?
right?
Yeah, how would I mean? I respect that personality stereotype that they're giving him.
Check out his manhole.
On that note, I got no more questions. I got. That's it. You've answered everything I have on Johnny the Street.
So that's Danny the Street. So that's the end of the list.
That was fun.
That's a hell of a list.
I guess we're not done.
Huh?
I guess we're not done though, right?
No, we still got. There's a twist, and this is your chance to talk amongst yourselves and figure out which one of these.
Can I request a high-speed 10 through 1, please?
For sure.
Say them all in the comic book voice, Tach.
All right.
Do it.
All right. So we have number 10. Armful Boy. Number 9. Big Bertha. Number 8. Normal Man. Number 7. Super hip. Number 6, almighty dollar. Number 5, ice cream. Number 4, chemical zero. Number 3, skate man. Number 2, color kid. Number 1, Danny the Street.
Okay. Well,
All right.
So we have to come up here and figure out which one of those Tach pulled out of his ass and completely made up.
And now I will
For his
admit I
listening.
did have some assistance in this.
Okay, from who? Ron?
Yeah, Ron.
All right.
Ron helped me create the...
Oh, well, that's pretty telling, though. Okay, that's important.
That's good because now he wasn't snickering over on the side.
Ron's personality is important to also consider for the ones that were in there. So obviously, Danny the Street is ruled out because Josh knew about it.
Yeah, that's one I've read about before.
I don't think Tach would throw in Arm Fall Off Boy at number 10 being the fake one. Just to where he might have to throw us off, but
Good early one. Just like let's just dump it and leave it.
yeah, normal man is too much of a name that I think would make sense to have in a stupid comic book spinoff or something like that. So I think normal man would be something that you would come up with in the 50s and the 60s. So
That needs to be a movie, I think. So
I'm going to lean towards either the skate guy, the roller skating dude.
Super hip.
However, Super Hip was the other one. That was the other one I was going to go to.
Oh, I'm sorry. He had the wings. That's right.
Yeah,
Backwards.
the Kid Icarus style ankle wings that could make him fly, and he turned into a dude that could just make everybody dance around him.
Star.
I think I got it narrowed down to those two. What do you think, Josh? The chemical dude was cool though. I like that. Was my
Chemical Dude
favorite.
is really cool. I actually am thinking that it is Chemical Dude.
You think it's Chemical Dude?
I do. Chemical Zero.
Oh, so he could control any chemical. What if he just like the antithesis to Hip Dude or Super Hip, the guy that could blow, Rasta breath at you?
What was his name? Man? Mon?
Mon.
Man or Mamon.
What if the chemical zone could just like blow clouds of THC your way? That would be all right.
Sounds like a great way to win a fight. Oh, you guys look real angry. You don't look angry anymore. I brought snacks.
God, I'm gonna have to go with it. I'm gonna have to go with roller skating guy. I think that's the fake one.
All right. Josh, what's your official answer?
Well, Chemical Zone or Chemical Zero. You said both in here.
Did I say both?
Just
Chemical Zero. That's his name.
Okay, cool.
You're in the danger zone.
So you're going with Chemical Zero?
Yeah.
And you're going with
Skate Man.
Skate Man.
Skate Man, yes.
All right. Well, I will tell you this. One of you is correct.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
The one that's made up is number 4, Chemical Zero.
Damn it, really? That was my favorite one.
So there's some slight little hints in here. Let me read it again. So Chemical Zero was published by Hectic Bride Comics. That's just something I made up that sounded cool. Forget about that. Created by Ronald Craig and Zachary Taylor. And first appearance was in Galactic Heroes, nothing I just made up. Number 210. I don't know if you know the connection with me in 210. You might not know, but
you've elaborated that in old school days with your old podcast. What was the name of your old podcast?
Right. Taint Funny.
Taint Funny. Yeah, that's right. Taint Funny. You would reference 210 multiple times in
Yeah,
there.
yeah. So I just kind of threw that in there as another clue or something, But yeah, Chemical Zone. Actually, I came up with I did it again. It's Chemical Zero. I came up with the name, but Ron actually came up with the power or whatever, and I was like, that's kind of cool. So Ron kind of created the character. I created the name. So
that was my favorite.
It was a really cool superhero concept. I liked it a lot.
Pitch it to Marvel. See if they take it.
now I had to kick one out to add that fake one.
Are we gonna get a bonus?
So here's a bonus one real quick.
Yes.
It's my least favorite. That's why it's not really that exciting. But it's called Chlorophyll Kid. Nothing weird there. We're good.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
That one's not nearly as close deeply racist as the
Not
other
as
one.
close to getting Tach kicked off the show. It's good. That one's good.
Chlorophyll Kid was published by DC and created by Edmund Hamilton and John Forte, and made his first appearance in Adventure Comics number 306 in 1963. Chlorophyll Kid, a.k.a. Ral Benem, was born on the planet of Mardru. He has the amazing ability to stimulate plant growth. God bless this boy. But seriously, he can mold and weave plants to his liking.
Mon's like, yeah, boy. Let's get some stuff growing, man.
Everything's going to be Irene. He can grow roots to stop criminals and even cover himself in oak tree bark for protection. Then I wrote, watch out for dogs. That's all I got to say. He later teamed up with Superman and the Legion of Superheroes, and good for him. Good for him.
Oh, so he's a DC character. I'm sorry. I know you said that.
Yeah.
It's interesting that they
Chlorophyll.
created him around, I'm sorry, when was the year again?
63, I think.
63. Is that before or after Poison Ivy, the villain? Because you just, they're very similar.
Good call.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's cool. That's a good list.
That one
was fun.
one didn't seem so dumb. That one
one
seemed
wasn't
like a
bad.
real fucking thing.
He at least was accepted by Superman, where
Yeah.
Color Kid was not accepted by Superman. That fucking jerk.
Yeah.
Superman
Maybe-
worked with this guy.
Maybe Superman was just like not down with like LGBTQ, and then maybe that's what he thought, like what was going on there.
Maybe they had
I think
just
so.
finished redecorating and he didn't have need of his services.
I think Superman, to be honest, is accepting of all walks of life. I think he would have accepted.
Of course he would.
Yeah, I think he would accept LGBTQ community just fine. Like, that was hard to say.
It is.
Unless he has to sneeze.
What?
Yeah.
You lost me.
Oh, Superman, through the course of his stories, a couple of times, has to sneeze. And so he leaves the Milky Way and he sneezes out into the vacuum of space and destroys star systems.
That's cool.
It's so silly.
Destroy star system. Because like in a movie, one of the movies he sneezes and it just kind of threw some shit back. Didn't
The bowling
destroy
alley.
the
No, he
plant.
sneezed at the bowling alley.
Yeah, that's it.
And he
the bowling
exploded.
ball went
Yeah,
from
all the pins.
But now you're talking about destroying star systems.
Yeah, he like leaves.
Well, you know, you can hold a sneeze in. Just a little bit. That's probably what he was doing.
Oh, well, that must be it.
Yeah.
You
I'm
don't
watching
wanna-
Supergirl
wanna
right now.
destroy the planet.
I'm watching Supergirl right now. The show on Netflix, the DC show on Netflix. I got it. So she has all the same powers as Superman, but I gotta say, she's weak. Superman is not as weak as they're portraying
She's a
him.
girl. So,
All right, easy with the misogyny. That's usually my bit on the.
here's my disclaimer. We had a good time today. We're not sexist. We're not racist. Sorry,
There you
that's
go.
how I always
No,
do it
that's
on
good.
the show.
No, that's apropos. But I was a little disappointed in Supergirl. She's incredibly weak in comparison to the story.
I've seen a couple episodes of the show. Jimmy really likes it a lot, so we always talked about it a lot.
I think it's great. It's a great drama, but it's not a great. She's not a great superhero. She's too easily beat. Maybe that's because she doesn't know how to use her powers yet. That would be how the nerds would argue it. Is like she's just learning how to use her powers.
Maybe,
Superman has
I don't
had his whole life to learn how to use his powers properly. Maybe okay, gotcha, nerds. But that's
Oh, so she's also a Kryptonian. I don't know that.
she
story at all.
is Clark. Well, she is Kal-El's older cousin. Older is appropriate, but she was trapped into the Phantom Zone when her ship. So they sent Kal-El off from Krypton, and then just after him, like Kal-El's leaving, and they put her in her little pod and get her to go. But something happens, and she got stuck in the Phantom Zone as a 12-year-old girl, sleeping the whole time for 25 years, and then she was able to manage to get out of the Phantom Zone and make it to Earth. And then she is now younger than Superman on Earth, but she's technically older than him on Krypton years. So she was supposed to be sent here to protect him. And instead, she just needed to have a secret identity and just live her life. She wasn't needed to be the world superhero. They had Superman for that. But now she's like, well, fuck that. I got superpowers. I'm going to use them. So Supergirl it is. Anyway, I'm a huge comic book fan. So this little trip down a comic book failures or didn't work out groups of people was fun.
I think it's called the Legion of what was it?
The Legion of Substitute Heroes.
Yeah, that's it.
That was a lot of fun, man. Those are some characters I would never have ever imagined, except for the one you guys made up. That one would be cool. That would make sense. But I mean, what are you going to do with a boy to drop his arms off? I mean, that's not a power. It's a handy. It literally is a handicap.
You can fit in a suitcase.
Yeah.
Travel by
Ice
train.
cream. Yeah.
What is he, more aerodynamic? That's up. Shoot him out of a torpedo tube? No, he's still a human for everything else. He's just take his arms off. Fucking stupid. Anyway, if you're as mad about that as we are, go hit us up on Facebook over at the Twisted 10 on Facebook and tell us what you think about it. Good list though, Tach. That was
Thanks.
a lot of fun. That was anytime you can get us in tears and angry in the same podcast, then that's gonna work. But,
Oh, so I don't forget. I want to hear the 210 story, but let's save it for the after show because teasers.
it's true.
Oh, yeah.
What is 210 all about?
You won't believe the story I got to tell you, man.
You won't believe number 5.
I didn't. Not in his list. All right. Anyway, send our listeners, Josh, to where they can go help the show, monetarily speaking. Give us your money, or where they can maybe just see some photos of us and hang out and do all that fun stuff.
Yeah, if you want to get some of the bonus content at the after show, I just very aggressively teased. You can find that at patreon.com/twisted10. Thanks in advance, and thank you to our patrons on Patreon who are already supporting the show. You guys rock. And then, of course, Facebook, like Adam mentioned, and then Discord. You can get to that, twisted10.com. We've got a link to it on the bottom, and it's just bring in the chat room. You don't have to you can jump in. Come say hey. Doesn't require installing anything or whatever. Just go to the site. It'll pull it up. And walk through the steps.
Don't forget about our Instagram as well.
Oh, yeah,
See
that's right.
pictures of everybody.
That's right.
We are active on Instagram now. So, yeah, that is at Twisted10, at The Twisted10.
The Twisted 10.
All right. So, got that wrong.
It's all right. For
God, you must feel stupid.
Oh, it's the worst.
take your arms off.
Where's arm fall off guy when I need him? Somebody slap me from an extra 2.5 feet away.
All right, Tach, what's the other podcast that you're on? Where can people listen to you?
I don't remember. No, it's called the Very Brady Podcast. My co-host and I, Jimmy Klein, it's a Brady Bunch rewatch podcast where we watch an episode of the Brady Bunch and we break it down, tear it apart, come up with conspiracy theories, and we're sexist and all that on there. It's a good time.
Selling it, buddy. Our listeners like, yes, I wasn't going to go, but they're sexist. I'm going to go now.
We're not really. We're just trying to keep it with the time because the show was kind of sexist for the time period.
Oh, that's true.
And so we roll with it and kind of joke with that, and it's hilarious.
The show is so good, you cannot listen to it in China or India.
Yeah, it's banned. It's banned in 3 countries.
I do want to also throw out a very special thank you to the guys over at Hysteria 51. You might have heard a couple episodes back us release a co-released episode of the Twisted 10, which was us giving the guys over at Hysteria 51 our top 10 reasons why we think this particular structure in Western Africa is actually the actual lost city of Atlantis. So
that was a very
out.
interesting episode, by the way, which I didn't know anything about it.
No, a lot of people don't know anything about the Eye of the Sahara. That's kind of the
I had never heard of it. Never heard of it.
That's kind of the
And
point.
then I found myself like fucking going down a rabbit hole after listening to that episode.
We got some people upset, dude. There's people that
Who upset about what?
just you know how the
Don't
internet
do
can be.
spoilers, but
You know how the internet can be. People don't like you taking away their lore and their fantasy. And some people think that the island is in a different location under the ocean, the Atlantic Ocean now, or they think it's in the middle of fucking Wisconsin, or they think it's wherever the fuck they think it is. Any evidence you give them that breaks their,
they're
their
nothing
fantasy,
but a bunch of John Goforths. That's all I guess.
That's exactly right. On that note, thank you guys for listening. We appreciate it. Tach, fucking awesome list this week.
That was fun.
Oh, thanks.
On behalf of the Twisted 10, I am Adam.
I'm Josh.
And to our host this week,
I'm Tach.
thanks for listening. We will see you next week.